Hey guys, it's Melanie. So yesterday, remember I put this post up and I said who suffers from adrenal fatigue or thyroid issues? Or maybe you're not sure if you suffer from that. And I put, irritability, fatigue, hair loss, cold hands and feet, trouble sleeping and staying asleep. There are seriously a gajillion symptoms. And I could go all day long giving lists and lists of symptoms, but everybody's different with the symptoms. So this is exactly why I've decided I'm going to do a series on this, because there are so many people out there that have thyroid issues that aren't even aware of it. And I'm going to explain to you a little bit of the story and tell you how I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, and I'm not trying to tell you to self-diagnose. I'm telling you to be an advocate for your own health. Because so many times, if you look up the symptoms of underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, and adrenal fatigue, a lot of them mimic the signs of depression. So when you go into a doctor and you explain these symptoms, and a doctor throws medication at you without running a test, run the other way. Okay? Run the other way. Because if your adrenals are not supplying enough cortisol and you have a thyroid issue, it's going to make things so much worse. They work together to supply certain hormones to your body. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my story. Started with overactive thyroid, had radioactive iodine. Fast forward, underactive thyroid. That's where I'm at today. So a few years ago, I go to the doctor. Now maybe you're going to shake your head yes, because this happened with you. I actually went to an endocrinologist, one that I'd been seeing for a while, and I said, look, I know I'm ready for blood. I know I'm due for my exam and my blood test, but I'm feeling super tired lately, and then when I try to sleep, I can't. I'm more irritable than normal. My hair falls out in clumps. I could make a wig out of it, I think, sometimes. My hands are freezing, and I just can't concentrate and think right. He says, okay, well, maybe your thyroid's off. Let's run some tests. Normal, right? I will never, ever, ever forget the phone call I got from the MA that day. Not that day, but a few days later with my results. Her response was, oh, we have your test results. I said, okay. And she said, yeah, the doctor said that your tests are normal and all the stuff that you're feeling has absolutely nothing to do with your thyroid, so you should go see a regular doctor. And I said, so I'm crazy? I literally said that to her, because sometimes you walk into a doctor and you literally feel maybe I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'm getting in the sleep that I'm trying to get in, and I just don't understand why I'm putting on weight, why I feel this way, why exercising makes me even more tired than I was before. It's just, I have no energy. Maybe I'm going nuts. No, guess what? I said, peace out to that doctor. I should have called back and said, you know what, the way that she said that to me was absolutely, it has absolutely nothing to do with your thyroid. And guess what? Another doctor, yes, it did have to do with my thyroid. There are certain tests that need to be ran when you have your thyroid checked. Your thyroid fluctuates. And apparently mine was fluctuated a little too much. That caused me to feel this way. So was adjusted, and it was okay. So yeah, that doctor got fired. I mean, I didn't say, hey, you're fired. But so what I'm going to do in this series is I'm going to talk about a lot of the causes of hypothyroidism, because it's not, I hate I've been dealing with thyroid issues for 20 plus years. Yeah, I know. It started when I was 2 years old. What can I say? And when it first started, it was never called thyroid disease or thyroid disorder, because that's not what it is, you guys. It's not. It's not a death sentence. There's ways that you can help it. There's ways that you can fix it outside of taking medication. I know so many people who have gone the natural way. They found doctors that have prescribed, meaning it's not prescription drugs, but have prescribed them and sent them in a natural direction. So this series is going to talk about the 4 main causes of hypothyroidism and adrenal fatigue. And would you believe it or not, the 4 main causes that I'm going to touch on: nutritional deficiencies, leaky gut, which is like intestinal permeability, if you've ever heard of that. I'm sure you've heard of leaky gut. I thought that meant gas. Until I learned and educated myself. Inability to deal with stress. That's another cause. And inability to get rid of toxins. If you remember my post a few days ago, I was talking about taking out the trash. I'm talking like the trash that's inside of your body, inside of your intestines. These things are causing havoc on the glands, right? Whether you realize it or not, whether it's something you want to believe out of me or not, I'm hoping to educate you on these 4 causes that I've researched and looked up and I'm working on myself. Because guess what? This doctor now that I'm seeing, I really like him. Really, really like him. I had my labs drawn the other day. 4 months. 4 months before I can get in to see him. Right? A little crazy. So yeah, I'm going to work on something between now and then because I'm like, am I going to have another blood draw before I come in to see him? Like, what is the deal? So yes, this is something I'm going to discuss with him. I'm going to go over things with this, but these are things that I'm finding out on my own that you may not really need you may not need what these doctors are giving you. And I'm not saying that medicine is a bad thing. When it's needed and when it works, that's fine. But when they're just throwing stuff at you and you go in with these symptoms, you're depressed, let me put you on this. Not when they haven't ran any tests. Don't be doing that, because I'm going to tell you something. That stuff is harder than hell to get off of. Way harder than what you could ever imagine to come off of some sort of antidepressant. Way harder. So it's not something that's necessary, and I want to educate everybody and let them know, like, this is exactly what I've learned, this is exactly what I'm trying, and this is exactly what I have noticed my results to be. Because when it all comes down to it, you may not really have to live feeling this way. You may not have to constantly fight with a doctor and say, look, I know that when I'm kind of here, instead of here on the scale, I feel like crap. If you have a doctor that's like, yes, I understand you need to be up here, it fluctuates, it's possible that it has to do with your thyroid, let's run some further tests, let's change this, let's do that. If they're willing to work with you, hey, that's awesome. But, if you've gone to the doctor and they've done these kind of things that I've just explained, like, oh, it has absolutely nothing to do with your thyroid, see your regular doctor. All right, thanks for passing the buck. You're fired, right? But it mimics, these symptoms mimic depression, and it may not even be depression. So whenever someone says like this, that, or the other, I can't lose weight, I've been trying, I've been doing everything, okay, have you had your thyroid checked? That's like my first question, because so many people suffer from it. So that's what I'm going to go over starting next week. And if anybody has any questions, please send them to me, because I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are like, yes, I have these issues. Yes, you're singing my song. You're talking exactly my language. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've gone through this. I've done that. This is what I've had. This is how I fixed it. Seriously, let's educate people on this. Let's explain to them that it's not always a one-size-fits-all solution. And it's not a disease. It's not a death sentence. So remember that. And I will see you next week, because I'm going to start talking about those 4 main causes that could be wreaking havoc on why your thyroid is like way out and your adrenals are like way off balance. So any questions or anything, message me, comment below, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day.